All right, so I started keeping a journal. This is about 20 plus years ago. God, I got these gorgeous journals. They were just lovely. Made in India. I don't know what to say. Just imagine just holding something super yummy in your hand, and I had these yummy pens. Wasn't a fan of cheap, not a fan of cheap now, but anyway, so I got this yummy journal, and I started keeping a journal about 20 plus years ago. And one of the things that I did was I noted there were two kinds of entries in my journal. And you might want to write this down. There was up time and there was dream time. Ready? Both are equally real. You're the dreamer. And that's all. Thank you for listening to the Neville Goddard podcast. My name is Mr. 2020. We're only a minute in, so let's dive deeper. So I got my journal, and every day I put in some records, what I had going on. And there were two categories, dream time and up time, and both are equally real. I'm the dreamer. You know, you've got the dreams that you have while you're asleep physically. You've got the dreams that you have when you're asleep, not really noticing who you are and how this works. And you've got the dreams that you have that you use consciously to drive your day. Let's call that feeling it real. Let's call having an imaginal experience intentionally. Neville Goddard teaches, the moment you feel a desire, that's when you move into its assumption. A lot of people, they feel a desire and they move into its doubt. They move into its, how the hell am I going to make that happen? So let me tell you about my dreams. 20 plus years ago, I was dreaming about teaching people from around the world cool shit, changing their lives, because I had discovered some cool shit that changed my life, and I didn't want to keep my mouth shut. So I had this dream. Now here's the problem. I lived right on the edge of the state game lands in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, about an hour and a half away from the airport. Little population of 11,000 people in the town/city I lived in. And most of them were more interested in either marijuana or heroin. Radio. See, I have this dream about worldwide impact. And this is actually closer to 23, 24 years ago. 25 even. God, the more I think about it, 25 years. Yeah, it would have been the late 90s. The internet was just becoming the internet. Al Gore just invented it, I guess. He claims to have invented the internet. I just go, that's interesting. Radio just goes to show he's not the first politician to fib a little bit. But I had this dream about teaching people from around the world cool shit that would change their lives. And I could teach little workshops. I'd have people, 15, 20 people locally show up for things. I wrote for the local New Age mag. They said, your articles have a grounding effect. I'm like, that's good. I'm a grounded kind of guy. And I taught a lot of cool things having to do with nature, spirituality, inner work, whatever the hell that means, out-of-body experiences. Even taught stuff about dream time. Because a lot of people don't get, let me refresh your memory too. In my journal, my cool little journal that I wrote in with my lovely ink pen, I had two kinds of entries, up time and dream time, and both were equally real. Because I'm the dreamer that gives life to both. Your imaginal experience leads your physical experience. Most people, when a desire shows up, instead of doing what Neville says, surrendering to the sweetness of it, that's what I say, they surrender to something else. How's it going to happen? So I lived in the backwoods of Pennsylvania, Fayette County. Look it up. They call it Fayette Nom. It's got its own little legal system. When I was a cop, I learned the rules of criminal procedure for the Commonwealth, the state of Pennsylvania. And those rules applied everywhere, but Fayette County had its own set of rules. It's like, good Lord. I found out real quick you don't want to be a cop in Fayette County. So meanwhile, I had this dream. And I'm telling you, where I lived, right? Most of the businesses had either gone, the buildings were falling down. We had a cool little park that I used a lot. I had the state game lands that I used a lot. But in the end, I had this impossible dream, 2002 at the latest, and I'm saying 2002, but it was early, late 90s. I was doing this shit, and so late 90s I was doing my little courses. We didn't have YouTube, we didn't have Facebook. I don't even know if MySpace was up yet. What didn't we have? We didn't have Facebook Lives. We didn't have WordPress. We didn't have a lot of things. I made a little tri-fold flyer, one sheet of paper folded in 3 out of columns, so it looked almost like newsprint. I'd have a little column article on one side and something big, a flyer on the other. And that's how I built my business. That's how I started. Somewhere along the line, I get this crazy idea to do a year-long program with people from around the world because, eBay came along. I got an eBay February 2, 2002, right? I know. Some people are going to say that's an angel number. I really don't care. But for whatever reason, February 2, 2002, I got on eBay and I started writing little ads and selling videotapes. And from those videotapes and audio tapes, eventually I went to DVDs and CDs, and people from around the world started to come in. And I'd love to tell you I had 100, 200, 300 people coming in. I didn't. Good seminar was 20 people. To this day, I gotta tell you, I love teaching little groups. 20, 30 people. Or whether it's live, whether it's on, conference calls. God, I remember when freeconferencecall.com came into existence. Good Lord. We couldn't even do them in the old days. The first remarkable programs were all done in Yahoo groups. Right? We sent emails back and forth. That was it. I don't even think we could do attachments back then. But why do I mention all this to you? My dream was impossible back in the 90s. It was improbable back around 2002. Right? It was fairly unlikely about 2005. And I'm not telling you this because I'm telling you gotta wait. Somebody's going to interpret it that way and you're getting the wrong message. Here's what I'm telling you. I had a dream. In my journal, there were 2 kind of entries, dream time and uptime. And they're both equally real because I'm the dreamer giving life to the dream. Your imaginal experience leads your physical experience. By the way, if you're getting gold here, join us in ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. If you're doing ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, the backbone of all we do, I'm going to strongly suggest that you get the Pearl Power Pack because in the middle of ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, we do take a whole week and explore the Pearl. And we did that like 10 years ago when we made up ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Often imitated, never duplicated, occasionally sold by someone else. Shame on you. If you get it from me, you actually get support. You actually get me to answer your emails. If you get it from someone else and you save $1, right? What are you imagining about you? Right? Every penny counts, Mr. 20. Radio. Well, most MM members, what they do is they send us an update every 7 days. In a 90-day course, that's like 12 updates, right? And they don't have to be long. I actually like them to be short. I usually don't read the long ones. And I tell people that. I said, that's too long. Drill it down for me. Because I get a lot of emails. You see, the impossible dream has become true. The impossible dream has moved me around the world to live with this lovely lady, Victoria. My lovely wife. We've been married over 10 years now. What is it, 10 years and 5 days or something like that? I'd have to look it up. 10 years and 4 days. 10 years and 4 days. I'll have to tell her. How cool is that? This impossible dream has given birth to, as far as I'm concerned, Facebook Live. Facebook. Instant downloads. The backbone of all that we do. WordPress websites, Manifesting Mastery, all this stuff, the Blue Yeti microphone. I can do this podcast. Podcasting didn't exist when I started. If you wanted to hear me talk, I had to find a venue to talk in. I'd give free little talks at the local health food store once a month. Crazy guy in the room, come on in, right? And I'd yak. I'd share the cool shit. Some people would walk out, some people would laugh. Some people would come back for more and bring their friends. Meanwhile, I dare you I double dog dare you to dream the impossible dream. I gotta tell you, along the ways, I've crossed a lot of bridges. And I've had fun in some amazing playgrounds, meeting some wonderful people. Heck, I even flew around the world to do some training and fell in love. And stayed. Another impossible dream. I gotta tell you, right? There's no, in Australia, they're not going, oh my God, you're an internet marketer. Let's swear you in as a citizen. That's what we want. No, they're looking for people like doctors, nurses, electricians, right? They're looking for people to keep Australia strong, make Australia great again, or something like that. Meanwhile, here I am, double dog daring you to dream the impossible dream. If you got gold, we've made some suggestions. Again, manifestingmasterycourse.com. It is the 90-day program. It's the backbone of all we do. I will give you a warning, though. It's probably not what you think. Because something happens in those first 2 weeks. People tell us, oh my God, I didn't realize how crazy I am. And two, Mr. 20, this is not what I expected. I said, yeah, of course. You get to discover how crazy you are, celebrate how crazy you've been, because we've all got layers of crazy in there. And I'm not talking the good crazy. I'm talking the crazy that gives life to crazy. Remember, you're the dreamer that gives life to all the dreams. Dream time and uptime. But meanwhile, there's a reason why we put the manifesting methods beginning at week 3. Because the first week, we expose your crazy so you can have a giggle and let it go. So you can also discover how vast and fast you are. The second week, we get you out of loops. That's a lot of fun to me. And the third, hey, we start you with some basic manifesting methods. Done in some cool ways that most people still aren't getting or teaching. But once you get them in week 3, your life changes. Look at the couple thousands of success stories that we've got out there. One lady said, how do I know you're not writing them all? Says, I'm too lazy. Right? 15 minutes a day. Right? Almost everything I design is based on 15 minutes a day. I think people don't want to sit around and work hard to change their lives. And those who want to do that, well, they just tend to like to work hard. Chase the chicken. All right, manifestingmasterycourse.com. And the second suggestion today, pearlpowerpack.com. Don't get that one first, though. Pearlpowerpack.com is 3 live calls. It started off as a 1-call thing on Federal Election Day. No, I'm not a fan of doing things that aren't investments. So we did the first Pearl call, which turned into 3 calls, which turned into a cool little pack, which you can get today at pearlpowerpack.com. That's it. Love you guys. Have a lovely day. The sun is still not up here in Australia. It is 6:43 a.m., the 28th of June. My name is Mr. 2020. This is the Neville Goddard Podcast. All rights reserved in all media. And if you're getting gold from the pseudo-random goodness, join us in an adventure. And you know what those are. We just told you about them. See ya.